Hi, welcome to Quinn's RC once again. Today I'm going to be putting Treal extended links on my trusty FCX24 Power Wagon. This is the first small scale crawler, actually the first crawler that I ever got. So it's pretty cool. It has some brass. Right now it has the McHugh extended links on it. I ran it off a rock in Hawaii and broke one of the upper links. So I decided I'm going to go aluminum this time with the Treal kit. So the Treal kit comes with a complete rear set, upper and lower, and a new steel drive shaft because it has to be longer than the stock one. However, what's sort of annoying is that it's just a complete rear set for links, and Treal doesn't sell them like a front set. You have to get a complete upper or lower links and complete upper links in order to be able to do the front. So I ordered those, and I'm going to have 4 links left over for something else. Sort of annoying. I wish they would just sell them front and rear. But I'm going to get those out of the package and get started. This may be old news, but getting these 1-inch Treal wheels over Injora brass portal covers is really not easy. So what I have is I have Injora extended hexes. These are the longest they have. I think it's 6mm. And I have these Treal, I think they're type B wheels that have a thicker hub. So it's got a thicker hub and an extended wheel hex, and that works. So they do not bind on those brass portal covers. But one of the problems is you still have, even with the extended nut, you have hardly any area for a hex driver to get on that nut. So what I end up doing is taking out all the little screws that hold the hub to the wheel, and then I can just take the wheel off and then undo the nut. When I got these Injora brass portal covers, I thought it was kind of silly to be putting all this weight onto a plastic inner portal housing. So I got some generic AliExpress inner aluminum portal housings, and I just didn't get them to work at all. You can see the damage here because I was trying to screw these in and make them pinch onto the plastic axle, and I couldn't get them to do it. So I just took vice grips and I squeezed them until they squeezed hard enough to stay on the axle. So if I ever have to change any of this, I'm probably just going to need a new axle. But that's how I roll. I could not figure out how that little screw was going to bend all this aluminum and get it to stay on that axle. So, brute force. Here's a comparison. This is the stock lower link. This is the Treal that I'm installing. This is plus 12mm. The McHugh links are plus 28. And then RC all-wheel drive also has one that's 35mm, so 7 more millimeters longer here. I've seen those on different videos, and to me it just stretches it so much that it kind of looks silly. So I like the length of the McHugh. We'll try these Treal ones and see if I like that. The idea of aluminum is nice too. I might have to go back to McHugh though. We'll see. In other videos, I've seen people complain that after installing the extended links from Treal, there was less flex, and I can see now this is the stock Y upper link, and you can see it has a little ball in there, which will give it some lateral movement. The Treal upper links, this is the end that goes to the axle, so it has some movement with a ball, but there's nothing here. It's just going to be a screw through metal. I don't know why companies make these decisions. Maybe it's just cost savings. Maybe they don't think it needs that, but it would be nice if there was a ball on this end too. We'll see how it works. So I put some blue thread lock in there and I left it kind of loose. We'll see if that works. Where the stock drive shafts attach to the power output from the transmission, There's a little D shape, but the aftermarket drive shafts are just round. So there is a larger hole here. You want the screw head to go into that hole, and you want, ideally, I believe, the screw to hit the flat part of the output shaft. Here's the rear done. I've got the steel drive shaft and upper and lower links. Now when I first installed these, the springs were binding on the shock tower, and I think they were also rubbing on the shock body because they were at such an angle this way, like this. So what I did was I took out the single ball studs that are stock, and I put the double ball studs that I no longer use on the bottom. So now the shocks slightly go outwards, which I'm sure someone who knows suspension better than me and maybe does crawling would say, I'm guessing that having that kind of outward angle from bottom to top on a shock is no good. But holy cow, is the movement ever better, way better. So if you're doing these Treal extended links, I would suggest doing that, or if you're more fussy than me, getting a spacer and putting the exact amount of space you need to get these maybe vertical so they don't bind anywhere. They're really much nicer with that top of the shock angled out a little more. While I'm here, I'm going to put a steel drive shaft on the front. I had these just waiting. I just remembered I have them, so might as well do that now. To get this part of the drive shaft off, it kind of looks like you have no access, but you can, if you line it up, get to it through the side right here. I'm going to give a little plug for Cow RC. This is a magnetic pit mat that I got from them. I just dumped all the hardware for the upper links without even seeing where it went, and the magnetic mat, if you watch, it just catches everything. So there were some things back in here, and it's just really great because you don't have to go look on the floor for all these parts. I have a 10% off code in the description if you want to go check out the magnetic mats from Cow RC. Absolute disaster. I'm not sure you'll be able to see this, but the screw that goes through the drive shaft into the output from the transmission sheared off as I was tightening it, I guess, and it actually is stuck inside this shaft, and I don't think I'm going to find a little tap and die or whatever to drill that out. I don't think I'll find anything small enough, so that really sucks. I might have to come back to this video a lot later because I don't know, maybe Treal will send me a new one. I really wanted to get this truck running again. It's been out of commission with that broken link for a long time. To be continued. Actually, all is not lost. I remembered I have a longer drive shaft from the Atlex that I had on there to accommodate the McHugh links. It was actually a little bit too short for the McHugh links, but the Treal extended links are shorter, and this pretty much matches up with the Treal drive shaft where the screws broke off, and Treal's going to send me a new one for an $8 mailing charge. So I'm going to put this one on just to get this little truck running. Okay, there we have it. The Treal high clearance links installed with the extended rear links. They look really nice. They move really nice. I think with these shocks pushed out, the back end just moves a lot more free. I'll go out to the little rock course and get some running video next.